Hey everyone, today I have a total body HIIT workout for you that will take you 22 minutes to complete. It uses the same structure as the previous 2 weeks, so we're gonna break it up into 3 mini circuits. For each circuit, I'm gonna give you 3 exercises and you'll go through them 3 times total using an interval structure of 30 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. After each set of 3 exercises, you get to rest for a full 30 seconds, and after each completed circuit, you get to rest for a full 60 seconds. Of course, at any point, if you need more time to recover though, just hit pause on this video. For equipment, you are gonna need a set of medium dumbbells, whatever medium means to you. I'm going to be using a set of 10-pound weights. And all these exercises can be done using just that single set of medium dumbbells. That being said, if you'd like, I would have one single heavier weight on hand, just if you want to use that for a few exercises. And you could always have a drop set of lighter weights as well, if you have those available, just so you have options. As with all workouts, you want to make sure you're properly warmed up beforehand and always listen to your body, modifying or stopping as needed. I have a couple warm-ups on my channel that I will link to below. If you're new to my channel, I don't play music in the background because I want you to be able to listen to whatever songs or podcasts or TV shows you like. So if you don't have something queued up, you might want to get that going. Before each circuit, I'm going to give you a preview of the 3 exercises, and I will also show you how to modify them. Keep in mind, a great modification for most of these, though, is just using a lighter set of weights. So with all that said, let's get to the preview of our first circuit. First exercise, you are just going to need a single weight. We are going to do a squat jack, adding in a scoop. The scoop, it's kind of like picture you're rowing a canoe. The scoop happens when your feet jump in close together, and then we'll have the weight at center chest when the feet are wide apart. So let's make our way into a squat position. And then as you jack those feet in, scoop to one side, then the next. Your goal is to stay low in the squat as you do this. Now, I want you active through the glutes, so I want you to make sure that your knees are tracking in line with your middle toes throughout the jack in and out. Think of almost spiraling your thighs outward slightly to really engage through the seat. Ten seconds to rest. We're going to make our way down to the floor. You're going to need both weights. We are going to come into a bear plank position. So knees are under hips hovering. You hop to a plank, back to that bear plank. Do that twice. And then in the bear plank, you're going to row right and left. Now, if this bothers your wrists, having your weight on the dumbbells, you can always have your hands on the floor and then just grab the weight to do the row. If you need to modify in this one, drop your knees down for the row. 10 seconds to rest. You're going to need one single weight for this next move. We are going to do a jump lunge to a torso twist. So you extend the weight out in front of you, twist over the front leg, okay? So if your right foot is in front, you would twist to the right. Bring the weight in towards your center of gravity, right at your chest when you do the jump lunge switch. Now, when you do the twist, I don't just want your arms going around. I want the twist to initiate through your core. So look at the weight, your gaze follows it, and your chest and hands kind of stay equidistant as you twist to the side. Okay, now you get a full 30 seconds to rest. We are completed with set 1 of those 3 exercises. We're going to do them twice more. Now again, if the weights start to feel too heavy, you can always drop down. I have an 8-pound dumbbell on hand so that if the 10 pounds gets to be a little too much, I can always use that instead. We're going to start back at the top with that squat jack and the scoop. Now, as you do this, I want you to check in on your upper body. So think long spine, your chest stays open so we're not hunching through the shoulders, and that's especially important because we are adding in that scoop. So I want you to think of slightly sliding your shoulder blades together and down your spine. Final few seconds here, try to stay low. Oh, you can tell I'm slowing down, struggling a little bit. 10 seconds to rest. We're going to make our way down to the floor. You will need 2 weights. We are going to find that bear plank position. And again, if gripping the dumbbells bothers your wrists, you can always have hands on the floor and just have the weights next to them so you can grab them for the rows. Also, if you just try rotating your knuckles down towards the floor, that can help relieve any discomfort in the wrists. Now, when you do the row, I want as little rocking of the hips as possible. So try to keep the hips level to the floor as the elbow comes up. Oh, I did a little better job of it on that first arm. So you got to really brace through the core. This is a total body exercise. Upper body, core, and you should feel the quads. 10 seconds to rest. All right, we're going to make our way to standing. We have that jump lunge torso twist. So 1 weight, extend it in front of you, twist over the front leg, bring it back to center, and then do that jump lunge switch. When you are holding that low lunge for the torso twist, I want you to notice, is your knee caving in towards your midline or wobbling outward when you do that twist? I want you to try to hold it steady so the knee is stacked over the heel, tracking in line with the toes. Also on that twist, notice, are you shrugging your shoulders up towards your ears? I want you to slide them down, long neck, and rest. Okay, so we have 30 seconds to rest here. We're going to go through those 3 exercises one more time, and then we'll move on to the next circuit. At any point, if you need more time to recover, you can always pause the video as well. So starting at the top, grab that weight. We're going to go into that squat jack with the oblique scoop. Start with your feet a little more than hips width apart. We'll be in the low squat with them wide. And then when you jump them in towards each other, that's when you do that scoop side to side. If these get to be too much, bring the weight to center and stand up out of your low squat quickly and then sink right back down into it and get back to that jack. You have under 10 seconds to go. Ten seconds to rest. Let's make our way to the floor in that bear plank position. Weight stacked under shoulders, knees stacked under hips. Tuck your toes under. Knees will hover a couple inches off the floor throughout this. You do 2 of those plank jumps and then pause in that bear plank, 1 row each side. Core is active. Your hips are staying right at shoulder height, so when you're doing the row, don't pike your butt up towards the ceiling. Keeping your hips low like that, you should really feel your quads light up in that bear plank hold, so the tops of your thighs should be talking to you. Ten seconds to rest. Okay, 1 more exercise to go in this circuit. We will need a single weight. We are going to do that jump lunge with the torso twist. 1 foot starts in front, extend that weight out. It stays at chest height as you do the twist. Bring it into center and switch. If the jump lunge gets to be too much, I just want you to step back into your lunge, alternating that way. You're over halfway there. Stay with it. Awesome work. You have a full 60 seconds to rest while I show you the next 3 exercises. need both weights for this first exercise. We're going to do alternating hammer curls. These are power hammer curls. So as one arm is going up, the other is lowering down. So palms face in towards each other, and you are curling up, up, up. Now in this standing position, roll your shoulder blades down so your chest is broad, knit your ribs together, core is really active, and you have a softness to the knees, so don't lock them out. Now if these get to be too much, then alternate them a little slower. So you would go up and down on the right, then up and down on the left, instead of having one go up while the other goes down. And rest. Woo, my facial expressions. I was struggling with the 10 pounds on that one. All right, we are going to make our way into a sprawl hop. So you have one weight, it's up on its end. We're going to do a little weighted hop. So you grab the fat part of the dumbbell. It's just a little hop. Notice my feet barely go off the floor. And then hands come to the ground. You jump to a plank, jump back into that low squat position. Now, when I'm doing that squat hop, my chest is lifted, long spine, core in tight, button hips down and back. If you're not comfortable doing a hop, holding a weight like that, if you feel any pain in your back, then either don't use the weight for the hop or just stand up instead of hopping with that weight. 10 seconds to rest. Okay, we're going to make our way to the floor. You need one single weight. We are going to do a full body crunch holding that weight in our hands. So you go out to a hollow body hold, weight comes overhead, and then as you sit up, you bring that weight up and over towards your shins. Now, when you extend out to that hollow body hold, it's important to protect the low back, so I don't want it peeling up towards the ceiling. So I want you to think of knitting your ribs together, pulling the low abs up and in, navel presses down towards the floor. If your low back is peeling off and you feel pressure in it, then your legs are too low. I want you to extend them up at a 45-degree angle instead. That will help a ton. Okay, you have a full 30 seconds to rest now. Done with the first set of those 3 exercises. We will start back at the top coming up. I'm going to use my 10-pound set again for these hammer curls, but fair warning, I think I'm probably going to drop down to the 8 for the 3rd set. If you notice form is getting sloppy or there's a lot of rocking back and forth with your torso during these curls, then use a lighter set of weights. Palms face in, one curls up, then the next. We're not hunching through our shoulders, so nice broad chest. Slide the shoulder blades down your back. Knit your ribs together, your core is active. And don't lock out through your knees. When we lock out through the knees, we tend to tilt forward with the pelvic bone. I want neutral pelvic bone. Final few seconds. And 10 seconds to rest. Stand one weight up on its side. We're going to go to that sprawl with the weighted hop. So you grab that dumbbell, a little hop, hands to the floor, jump back to plank, land in that low squat. So notice when I land in that low squat, long spine, my chest is lifted, so I'm not hunching forward. If you try to do that squat hop with a rounded back, you're going to bother your low back. So it's very important that chest is lifted. 10 seconds to rest. We'll make our way down to the floor, single weight. If you have tight shoulders and this bothers your shoulders at all, bringing the weight overhead, then drop down, use a much lighter weight, or ditch it all together. You can do this body weight, and you can even have your hands under your bum as you do this, and then just keep your back on the floor so you just extend the legs out and in. That is a great modification. Now, I want you to notice if you're holding your breath on these. If you are, I want you to think of inhaling every time you extend out and exhale as you crunch up, sit up. You have a full 30 seconds to rest. We'll go through those 3 moves one final time. Now on those hammer curls in the second set, I noticed a lot of sort of rocking back and forth in myself towards the end. So I'm going to drop down and use a set of 8s instead on these, going a little lighter so I can maintain that proper form. Soft bend to the knees, roll your shoulders up and then down. Core is active, so knit those ribs in towards your midline. And let's go. If form starts to get sloppy, slow it down, okay? I care about quality over quantity. Final few seconds. Woo, and done with that exercise. 10 seconds to rest. Stand up one weight on its end. And we're going to do that sprawl to that weighted hop. So a sprawl is basically like a burpee, but there's no push-up or lowering your chest to the floor. When I land in that low squat, weight is in my heels, button hips down and back, chest lifted, core is in tight when I do that little hop. And again, if the hop is bothering your back, don't use the weight for it or take out the hop and just stand. Ten seconds to rest, one more exercise to go. Make your way to the floor. We have that full body crunch. We start in a hollow body hold. So legs extended at a hover, arms overhead. And then from there, we bring the weight towards our shins as we crunch up, coming into that kind of tailbone balance. Think of growing taller when you come to that sort of tailbone position. So we're not rounding forward. And when you extend out, again, really focus on what's going on with that low back. If it is peeling up towards the ceiling, your legs are a little too low. Try them either bent or up higher. And a full minute to rest while I show you the final 3 exercises. For this first combo move, we are going to have a weight at our chest. You'll notice I have my hands crossed, pressing it right against the chest. Slide the shoulder blades down your spine, knit your ribs together. We're going to do a hinge. You're going to drop down low into a squat. You're going to give me a little squat hop, and then you're going to stand up. The squat hop is tiny. Notice my feet are barely coming off the floor. When you do the hinge, button hips slide down and back, long spine as you lean forward, and then you drop your hips into that low squat, weight in your heels. When you stand, finish it at the top by squeezing your seat, bringing your hips forward, abs in tight. 10 seconds to rest. Okay, we're going to build off that hinging movement, taking this into skier swings, similar to a kettlebell swing, but we're going to have a weight in each hand to our sides. So it's that same hip hinge movement. It's not a squat. So yes, there is a slight bending to my knees as my hips slide back, but that is not the primary movement, okay? So think hips back as if someone is pulling you by the back of the leggings. Torso goes forward, long spine. And then it's the hips driving forward that creates the swing. So squeeze your butt as the hips come forward. Also squeeze your abs though. So it's almost like you're in a vertical plank. 10 seconds to rest. Okay, we are going to need just one weight for this. We're going to find a low squat position. As we step side to side, you press the weight forward, bring it back to center as you step your feet in. So we kind of start in a center squat position, and then right leg steps wide, left leg steps wide. And we're trying to stay low as we do this. If you notice your shoulders starting to round forward, reset, abs in tight, roll the shoulders down your back, and then get into it. We're trying to keep the weight at chest height as we press it out and pull it in. Okay, you get a full 30 seconds to rest, and then we will start that from the top. We'll start back at the top with that hip hinge to drop to squat hop combo. If you felt pretty good with it the first round, maybe you go up a little heavier with that single weight. So to start, chest is broad, knit your ribs together. Hips are going to slide back as you hinge forward. You're going to drop your seat down low into that squat, give me a little hop, and then we stand up. So I wanted to do this move specifically before going into the more dynamic skier swing so you really get that hinging motion down. Check in, make sure the weight at your chest isn't causing your back to round forward. Find that nice long spine. And 10 seconds to rest. Now we're going to grab our second weight. We'll go into those skier swings. So again, just focusing on that hinging motion we already worked on. So you should feel your glutes working on this one. As those hips come forward, squeeze your seat. Abs in tight though. So sometimes what we do is we bring the hips forward, squeeze our butt, but then we sort of dump into our back. I don't want that. So again, think vertical plank at the top. As you squeeze your bum, you also need to squeeze your center abdominals. 10 seconds to rest. Single weight here. Going to stay at chest height. We're going to find a low squat position. As we step laterally, we press the weight out, pull it in, press it out, pull it in. So it's a chest press movement. You will feel your shoulders working here. When you press that weight out, I want it at armpit height. I don't want it lowering down towards your belly button and hips, okay? So we really got to keep it lifted without shrugging the shoulders up to our ears though. Okay, shake it out. You have 30 seconds to rest. We're going to go through that circuit one final time, and then you are done with this workout. So let's find that single weight that safely challenges you. We bring it to our chest. You're going to hinge forward. You're going to bend the knees, dropping the hips into your squat. Give me a little hop and then stand up. If doing that weighted hop does not agree with your knees, don't do it, okay? You would drop into the squat and then just stand from there. Ten seconds to rest. Let's build off of that hip hinge. We are going to go into skier swings. So because the hip hinge is creating the momentum for the weights to swing up, it's not that you're pulling with your arms, okay? So the weights really only come to about chest height. If your weights are going all the way overhead, you're either pulling too much through the arms or maybe the weights are a little too light. Ten seconds to rest. Okay, one more work interval to go. Final 30 seconds of this workout coming up. We have that low squat. We're going to step laterally side to side, adding in that little press forward with the weight. Forward and back. You're over halfway there. If you can do so without sacrificing proper form, maybe you try to pick up the pace a little bit. If you notice yourself getting higher and higher, maybe you sink a little lower through the legs. Last few seconds. And done. Awesome work. Hope you enjoyed that workout. If you did, you know the drill. Give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I have one more workout using this structure coming at you next week. It's going to use dumbbells and a kettlebell. After that, we will switch it up. I'll give you a new structure. All right, I'll see you next week.